Hi guys, Ghost Raven here, and welcome back to another episode of City Skylines 2. We're on Ravenport. Hope you guys are doing well today. Please don't forget to give the video a like and subscribe to the channel, and I'll bring you cool, dirty videos like this. So we're pretty much jumping in where we left off the last time, and there is something that I realized that we need to sort of correct. There is an issue going on with these bicycle parking halls. So as you can see, there are no parked vehicles, and the reason why is because the entrances to these buildings are in the middle of the parking lot, so no bicycles can actually get to these buildings. So what I want to do is I want to just add and change these roads. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to use a normal road. I'm going to use the upgrade tool, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to upgrade these roads where there are these cycling centers. Okay, and then we also have the smaller roads with the parking, but we can do that anyways. Just takes away a little bit of the parking from the roads, but where it's really going to help us on these high density roads is going to be able to feed bicycles now into these bicycle parking halls. I'm pretty much going to do this everywhere, even though we don't have bicycle halls and stuff everywhere yet, but we will, because as we increase density to our city, we are going to be increasing the density to the number of bicycles that are being used, so we need more bicycle halls to just keep up with that demand. Okay, so let's just fix all of these roads. Now suddenly our bicycle haul capacity is going to go up. They just need access to be able to get to it, so that's what the problem is. Okay, so let's just see if there's any other roads. We do have some roads in here, so let's just add the bicycle paths in here. This road is actually the wrong way for the bicycles. And that should be better, should be able to get access now to this parking hall. Okay, we do have some roads here that we need to sort out. Okay, so let's just do the basics where we can. I think we are going to need more bicycle halls anyway, so we are going to have to get rid of some of these houses. And also what I want to do is I want to be able to remove the ability for cars to be able to park on these roads. They're not supposed to be able to park on these roads. What we can do is we can do the same trees and stuff that we did on our main center road. Okay, and I'm going to do the same thing on this side as well. Pretty much anywhere where there's crossings over the highway, we might have to upgrade these to be slightly more dense so that we can get more cars coming on and off. We haven't seemed to be having a problem at the moment, but there's a possibility that it can happen. And our port is still going strong, so we are waiting for the next milestones to be unlocked. We are 16 million out of 30 million, so we're just letting that run in the background. We are running on just normal speed at the moment, on 1 speed. And because there's awesome upgrades and stuff that I want to do, I want to just make sure that we have covered all our bicycle places with the relevant paths. So there's a pathway there, so they can get into this building here. And if we speed up the simulation, we should start seeing people start using these. There's 2 people already in there, 2 people already in there, so people are starting to use it. I see some bicycles on that road. I saw some guy flying there. Okay, and so what I want to do is I want to get the ability for people to be able to cycle from our residential areas and the main part of our city to feed the jobs and to get them to come to work in the industrial city. So I'm going to move the park maintenance off a little bit. I am going to increase the capacity of the road maintenance just so that there are more vehicles. And what that'll allow us to do is it'll just allow them to send up more vehicles and repair the roads a little bit more easily. Okay, so we are going to do the same things over here. Okay, so we are going to want to run a bicycle path over this road. So I think the quickest and easiest way to do that is just to go and use the new tool that they've provided, so bicycle paths, and use the divided wide pedestrian bicycle path. And I'm going to increase it just one. So we are on the maximum, so it is 10 meters. It's probably a little bit too high, but it should do what we need it to do, so I'm not too concerned by it for now. Okay, and what we're going to do is we're going to come down and we're going to go straight across the road. And the same thing over here, we're going to get to, it's not letting us go off here, probably because of this. Okay, it's a little bit of a problem. Now, I wonder if it's going to be an issue because of our... Let's see if we can do it a little bit closer. Okay, well, maybe we can just use the complex curve. It's a little bit janky, but they can get over there. It's obviously just an issue with this road. Okay, so now they can get to this road, but they can't do much about it. So we're going to remove the main intersection off here. Okay, so people are going to be able to cross at this point over here. And then what we can do is we can run bicycle paths basically down either sides of this road. Okay, so let's put one of these sort of high density parking garages, underground bicycle hall. So let's do that. I know it requires additional parking that you can place all the way around it. You can actually use quite a lot of space. I mean, you can have ridiculous amounts of stuff here going on here. But so what I'm going to do is, because we need some more commercial, I'm going to run some commercial down. There's some offices here as well, so maybe we must just go halfway. Let's do halfway offices and then shops. I think we need to get more people into our city before we start doing anything like this. So there is some industrial demand, so I'm just going to add some more. Hopefully this will fill out nicely. Doesn't look like it's going to, so maybe we just do some more offices. Okay, I can't be too concerned about, I mean, little things like this kind of happen. But there are people arriving. So these people are now using the bicycle path, as you can see. Here they come down the road. Quite a long cycle, but it's better than cycling than walking. So they should be coming along this way, Oh, they are. Look at this. Across the road and off they go. Okay, awesome. I want to try and stop people from walking across and using this road. I mean, there's a pedestrian crossing that's doing it for them. Okay, and we are going to need to worry about two different things. So we have to worry about the capacity, because this school takes up quite a lot of space. I probably want to put in another school that doesn't take up so much space. But I also want to add some leisure into the city. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove these roads and stuff here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to change the density of these to medium. So we're going to be doing quite a lot all in one go. So this I want to get rid of everything. Okay, cool. And then I'm going to upgrade these roads. So let's upgrade them to the slightly bigger ones. Perfect. And we definitely want a bicycle parking lot. I'm going to add it there. So you can see it's got 3 vehicles in it. Give it change rooms. And we are going to use the medium residential. I wonder if we should just get some more people coming in. It'll be quite a big building. Okay, then from the leisure point of view, what I wanted to do is I wanted to use one of the parks, and I wanted to go to the large sports parks, and I wanted to use this Apex climbing from the leisure venue pack. That fits in quite nicely over there. Okay, we've got quite a lot of space here, so what are we going to do with it? I'd like to add some more parks and stuff, maybe some sports parks. So let's get a tennis court going. And then what we can do is we can squeeze in 2 basketball courts here. And then I want to run one of these new pedestrian roads again, and this one I need to come down to ground level. But I want to run it in a straight line to there and to there. I think if you move the pedestrian crossing, it automatically just moves the thing for you. Okay, so I'm just going to use their tool. I want to just see from let's have a look at the surfaces, and if we just use grass, I'm going to put anarchy on for this. I don't know where this building, okay, so we've come a little bit too far, so maybe I just want to pull this back a little bit. That's pretty good going, actually. Okay, so now we can add whatever we want. We can add some fountains, so maybe let's do that. We can add some benches. I just want the single one, and we don't need anarchy for this. Facing a tree, and then maybe we can have a fountain this side, and just have benches facing this way. Okay, and let's put in a single tree, I think. Everything's covered in snow. It's the middle of winter anyways, but there we go. So we have a little bit of a park area where people can come and chill and play some sports. And then we have the Apex Climbing Center. And we are producing, we're bringing in a lot more people because we've changed this now, the density of this area. And I probably want to do the same for these two. Just have a look. So we are it's not really using it yet. Okay, we've only just speeded up the simulation now, so people should start using these. But so definitely next to the high school, we definitely want to have more parking. So let's get rid of these shops. This is the main road, actually. Could have just left it in, sorry. Okay, and then I want to add another parking area here. I'm going to upgrade it straight away with more capacity, so it's right next to the high school, so people can start using it. Okay, so our industrial area is starting to take shape. Some of these buildings have come in, left a little bit of open space, which is actually okay. Let's have a look at our unemployment. So we're sitting at 1.4, which is pretty low. Okay, so we definitely want to start bringing people in on this side as well. So let's just turn this, I want to just turn this into a normal road where people can't park. And what I'll do is I'll add the trees in. And I think we're going to do that for this whole middle row, like we did in the other part of the city as well. So let's go back to this tool, and then I want to just add that all the way down the road. Okay, perfect. And then I want to start making use of some of these islands. Maybe bring our port around this way and finish off our port and kind of bring it in line, and then have a sort of maybe a bridge that can go onto this side and go onto this side over there. Let's buy some tiles. So I'm going to purchase these few. Actually, let me just do what that. And we can do another 3. We can just get an idea of where we're going to go across and what we're going to do. So I want to get access to this island, and then I want to have a road that's going to run down the middle of this island. And I hook up with some of the highways. There's a highway point over there, and this is the rail. The rail goes through the mountain, it looks like. Okay, but we can definitely look at extending the port a little bit as well. So let's have a look at, this is quite high in comparison to the surrounding area, or the surrounding ground. So if we had to use the port, okay, you can see it's quite a lot higher than the ground next to it. So if we can do gentle slope. Is that incredibly bad? I mean, the height difference is quite a lot. So let's just leave it like that for now. But I definitely want to get a main road or bridge over this road. So let's just go up. We want to go up 2. And if we have to go across here, I want to be able to go across there as well. I think this will probably be a highway at some point. Okay, so I'm not very happy with how it looks, to be honest, but let's just do this for now. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring this back down to the ground level, and let's just take the whole thing. We're going to probably come back and change this. But that just gives us an idea of being able to get across the waterway. And then what we can do is we can bring this down to ground level. Okay, so this is obviously not going to be able to lift. What we'll do is we'll replace it with something that can lift. But I just want to have a look at some of the port roads and stuff as well. So this is the road that we've been using. And we can kind of bring that directly under, and that can go directly straight into there like that, which is actually pretty cool. We might have to change it, but for now that seems to be okay. Okay, so if we take out these few segments, so we take out kind of those segments from there, and what we use is we try and use this 4-lane drawbridge. Let's see if we can get it to work. Okay. But what we actually need before we do any of that is we actually need to bring in another crane. Let's click on the port, and what we'll do is we'll select the crane, and hopefully we can stick something out on this side. like that. Okay, and then what we have to do is we're going to have to destroy this bridge, and then such that we can bring this pathway. Okay. Now we can replace the bridge again. Oh, it's not letting me get across now. Okay, it's a little bit low, so let's just take this off. I want to go up higher, guys. Still going down. I'm really having no luck with this. Okay. Ah, I'm on the wrong thing. A little bit of wonky road here. Okay, and then maybe we can just bring this out straight out this way. Okay, and if we hook this up, then what that'll do is that'll give us the ability to be able to see it actually working in action. Let's go and choose a route. And what we're going to do is we are going to change the color. So let's make this, I think, orange. No, sign vehicles. Didn't mean to do that. Ship model is a large vehicle. It's orange, so let's go green and blue. So we're going to go green. It's a large shipping model as well. And we're going to look at this one. This will be blue. This is just using a cargo ship, so we're going to use the large cargo ship. I don't know if it actually makes any difference, but I'm just going to say it does. Now we have our blue line. So now they're all different colors. And they're kind of being used. This is the new one. So this is the yellow one that we're going to look at. I want to see what happens when this drawbridge opens. I've never seen it being used before. It's a little bit wonky, so we are going to have to fix it. I don't like what's going on over here. Can we delete that segment? No, we can't. But we can delete that and then try and a little bit of jank. There we go, guys. So it opens. Look at that. So cool. It'll be cool when there's actually cars using it and it needs to be used. But I think for now that's pretty cool. Okay, and we have gone up a level as well. We've unlocked the medium cargo warehouse, the medium container. That's pretty cool. Let's wonder how many we can fit in here. Let's choose the one way and take off the things that are going to break the zoning. And we should be able to have another one or two. Super cool. Okay, let's do that again. We want to go into this one. Hopefully it's going to fit there nicely. No, it doesn't. Look at that. Okay, so this can all be changed. I'm not too concerned by this at all, as long as we can put another one of these in. Looks a little bit better, I think. And then what I want to do is start adding quite a few of these. I don't really have much going on when it comes to this thing. We can fill up these spaces with other things. I don't know if anything else is going to fit in there. Let's see if we can add one of these smaller ones in there. No, we can't, but we can start adding the bigger ones now. Wowza, they are big. It is really, really very big. Okay, so let's just drop one in here, I think. We'll drop two in. It's giving our port a lot more capacity. And let's just see if we can run a road over all of this. Is that not high enough? It's going to be a pity if we can't. Okay, so let's just try that again. Doesn't really help us with these things. Definitely starting to look more like a port. So we've got a medium gate, a passenger terminal, employee kitchen, port security, and a whole bunch of other things as well. But I think we've actually done quite well. We've got a bridge, open drawbridge that's going open and closing as the ships come in and out, which is pretty cool. And then we have a highway getting into the other island. I don't know if I'm happy with this, but we can always go back and change it if we need to. But I think I need to stop worrying about the actual people that are living in our city. And let's have a look. We do have a house that has actually become not just abandoned, but has now fallen to pieces. Complete disarray. And let's have a look. So yeah, we can see that the bicycle stations are now being used quite nicely. Where did we add one over here? This is next to the school, so I would assume it would have lots of people in it. Okay, so at least we have the bicycles going in. This one can already be upgraded. Look at that, guys. Let's check this one. Just going to upgrade it anyways. Just make sure that we have maximum capacity on the side. Okay, how is our high school doing? So we're starting to run low on high school, but we do have some things that we need to put into the city. So I want to put in a bus depot, and I want to put in a taxi depot. So let's just do that quickly. So the basics of a bus depot is just putting it down, and then there is an upgrade that I'd like to do, which is the electric bus maintenance. And then we can add more of these, and just make sure we leave some space that we can add as many as we want. That just increases the bus capacity. So at the moment we don't have any bus routes, but I just want to get the basics going. So I'm going to do this taxi depot, and I'm going to do the dispatch center, and I'm going to use electric as well. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to place two, but with one space in between. what I can do is I can just run the normal alleyways. Okay, we actually do want some of these in. So you can see our taxis are already being dispatched. We just need to change the density of our city a little bit. Start bringing in some more medium residential. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove this whole section over here of people. So they're not very happy. They're like, why are you doing this to us? Okay, so we can just prep it. So what we want to do is we want to upgrade the road. And then what I want to do is I want to put in 2 more parkings. And I was just saying straight off the bat, I'm just going to upgrade them fully. Okay, and then I don't know if it is worth us bringing in. I think I'll do it over here. But then the rest of it, I'm going to just do the normal medium density. I was just going to put in some higher density as the medium came in, so that's good. I think we can do the same for these guys over here. Okay, that's going to change density quite a lot, bring in a few more people. We need to see our unemployment doesn't get too high. It's I think on 1.7, so we're actually more than fine. And now we have taxis. Let's see how many taxis have been dispatched. 65 out of 65, so we can already add more vehicles. You would think that that's overkill. Now we have 175, but you'll see as our city gets busier and busier and busier, instead of using external guys, we're going to get normal, our own taxis using the roads. So you can see our highways are starting to get a little bit busier as the density of our city is changing. And let's have a look at some of the upgrades we can do. So electricity, probably wise, I'm not too concerned about anything for the moment. I'd like to go into the advanced water. I'd like to go and get the hospital, even though we're not going to get it and use it now. University, the fire station, the police headquarters, busing and trains and stuff. I'm not too worried about that for now, and I'm not too worried about that for now. We could probably get I was thinking maybe a telecommunication tower, but then we don't have to worry about putting in some of the smaller masks and stuff. Let's just actually look and see how our electricity or our internet's doing. So it's actually doing fine. Not too concerned, but as we increase density, it's obviously going to become a bit of a problem. So we can watch out for that a little bit later. But as you can see, our schools are getting close, so we can upgrade our primary school, elementary school, and yeah, so now we have much more capacity, which is good. So from an electricity point of view, we are starting to go a little bit lower, but I don't want to add any more turbines for now. Maybe I want to think about maybe doing some form of other electricity generation. But I definitely don't want people being able to park here. This is the water. So if we have a look at the advanced water pumping station, it is massive, but we can actually run it straight here. And we just progress to the big town milestone, level 8. We have locked the Mermaid's Tea Lounge, the Villa Antique, and we have this massive water thing here now. So what I want to do is just want to get a main road, or just a road joining this up. And it'll give it electricity. And let's have a look at our capacity. So our capacity is absolutely insane. And a quick and easy way of bringing in some additional income is by dragging pipes, putting Anarchy on. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to drag these to the edge of the screen. Just follow the highway. And there we go, until we create a connection. Now we're going to start exporting water and sewage. Both lines under the highway or under the road. Absolutely perfect. Okay, so it's a quick way of easy way of bringing in a little bit of additional income. So you can see we're already making a bit more. I am going to reduce the taxes. So on residential by 1%, and industrial I'm going to keep at I think 11. And what I'm going to do is the offices, commercial, and the offices as well, I'm going to take up to 11%. We do have 3 million, and it's climbing quite nicely. So let's just actually have a look at our unemployment rate. So it's sitting on 3.1%. And we've just reached a new milestone where we can actually bring in the higher density residential. So the North American, we actually do have the Southwestern as well version of it. So we could have actually probably used it in a building as an example somewhere. Maybe just take this little building out and bring in a slightly bigger one. You can see it's quite a lot larger than the surrounding buildings around it. So it is proper higher density. I don't know how many households it's going to have. That building only has 9. So if you look at the alternative, it's basically 8 households, and then we'll just have to see how much this has. Wait for it to construct. We've got lots of guys using bicycles, which is really good. Very happy with that. Maybe what we can do is we can change policies and look at policies, but we'll worry about that in the next episode. And we'll look at putting in a new high school. And we'll look at start developing the new waterfront area, bringing in some residential, and start turning this into a bit of a waterfront. So it'll be, yeah, we'll have bridges going across like we have over here. We'll hook up all these islands, and we'll start putting some residential buildings out there. And as the land becomes closer to the seaway, we will add more high residential, just to add a little bit more sort of, you know, higher end apartment blocks and buildings and stuff like that. So I hope you guys enjoyed the episode. Please don't forget to give the video a like and subscribe to the channel, and I will definitely catch you on the next one, guys. I hope you have a good day. Take care. Cheers. Bye bye.